Okay, yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Christabel. Thank you very much for taking some time off to join us in this webinar. So I'm the technical lead for Augmented Reality in ARTC, and I'll be sharing with you an upcoming course that we have prepared especially for industrial applications in terms of Augmented Reality. A bit of background. So I've been working on AR for the past 4 years, exploring the different AR solutions, software as well as hardware that's available in the market. And we have also spent quite a bit of time exploring what are the bottlenecks that companies are facing and how AR can actually come in and solve their problems. So I'll be sharing what we have prepared for the course in this webinar. But before that, let's just answer this question. What is extended reality, or XR in short? I'm sure some of you have seen this term come across before. So what XR means is actually just an umbrella term to describe the different immersive technology that's available in the market right now. And there's three main ones that's available, mainly VR, virtual reality, AR, which is augmented reality, as well as mixed reality, which we call MR in short. So the difference between them is actually the experience that they give to the users, as well as how they are being anchored in place. So let me just do a bit of details there. So for virtual reality, when a user uses a VR device, you are fully immersed in a virtual environment. So this is very good for virtual training, or if let's say you need to visualize certain simulation, this will be a very good tool that you can use to fully understand and interact with the virtual environment. So with this virtual VR device, you can actually teleport yourself to a new environment without having to travel. You can also do training using the VR devices without having too much concern of making mistakes, because that is where you make mistakes and learn. You don't have to worry about material wastage or potential physical risk that you might put yourself into if, let's say, you were to go straight to an actual physical machine and try it out. So for VR devices, because you are enclosed in a virtual environment, usually you will also need to have a safe space that you can move around so that you don't trip or hurt yourself while you're in the experience. Next, for augmented reality, or AR in short, AR is actually just an overlay of additional information into your environment. And depending on what kind of devices you are using, how the information is being displayed to you will be slightly different. If let's say your device have some depth sensors, then you can actually position the 3D content spatially in your environment, meaning mapped to the environment. While some other AR devices that doesn't have the additional sensors, information is usually just displayed to you in a 2D manner, like as if you are reading from a tablet, for easy reference or easy guidance to help you in completing your task. So unlike VR, AR can often be used on the job as a form of guidance or as a form of checklist for staff who's very familiar with the operation, so that you don't miss out any steps along the way. Yeah, and next it's mixed reality. So for mixed reality, it usually involves devices that has the spatial depth information sensors that is embedded as part of the device. So with these depth sensors, the device will actually be able to tell your surrounding. It's able to understand your surrounding, such that virtual objects can be placed in the environment, and the virtual objects will be able to interact with your physical environment with a higher accuracy. For example, if let's say there's a table in front of you and you are wearing a device with depth mapping sensors, the device is able to tell that there's a table and you can place a virtual object on the table itself. Yeah, so these are some of the common AR applications that you will often see, and maybe you have also tried them before. Like for example, IKEA has one that allows you to point in your environment and you can project IKEA's furniture in your environment to see whether you like it or not. Even Google, they also has implemented AR as part of their Google Maps. So if you are using the walking function, you can actually point your camera around and it will actually tell you which direction you have to go. So the next common question that we often get, and sometimes even we ask ourselves, is why do we need AR or XR in general? Why can't we just refer to our computers, or why can't we just look at our phones? Okay, yeah, so each solution has their own advantages and disadvantages. Of course, not all application we should implement AR on. We should evaluate first. And some advantage where AR comes in is, for example, certain activities or certain tasks that requires both your hands to be involved for you to operate properly. So in this case, a AR headset will come in very handy because you're able to see the additional information that you need to refer to, and your hands are free to work around. Next, the convenience of not having to carry a laptop around, especially if you are working at height, you have to climb around. It's not very convenient for you to carry something, be it paperwork or be it a laptop or a tablet for you to refer to. Next, visual guidance is often a lot easier to learn for especially new users. I myself am guilty of this. If you give me a manual with page full of instructions, sometimes I'm working on it. When I come back, I'll be thinking, wait, which step was I at just now? Yeah, so with all this visual guidance, it's a lot easier for people to learn, as well as it also lowers the chances of error from occurring. Yeah, so next I will move on to what we will be covering in this course that we have specially curated targeting at AR for industrial applications. So this course is actually a 3-day course. It includes both theory as well as practical sessions during the course. And what we hope to achieve as part of the course outcome is for participants to be equipped with the basic knowledge on how to identify a solution that is best suited for your company's needs and problem statements, because you understand your problem the best. So, and often when companies come to us, when they approach us, they know about augmented reality, but they are not too sure where it can be applied and how it can be applied. So the objective of this course is we hope we can answer the 5W and 1H of AR. What is AR? Why do you choose it? Who should be actually using it? Where do you use it at? And when or in which situation do you actually implement AR? And of course, the most important question is, how do you go about doing this implementation? So we hope that we will be sharing the knowledge that we have curated over the past 4 years on working with members and industry partners on AR. We can share the knowledge that we have with you guys. So the course outline, we have segmented the course into 8 different sections. Firstly, we will be talking about theories, such as the introduction to immersive technology. What are the different technologies that's available right now? Some of the industrial applications that we have done before, as well as some demo sessions. AR tracking technologies, what are the different tracking technologies that's available right now, and which one is more suitable for your application. Next, for the hands-on session, we will also be touching on Unity, how to use Unity, simple familiarization with Unity. Some of the AR tools and resources that's available online, we will share them with you. And also, how do you go about setting up your project, and how do you build an application? And because for AR or immersive technology, we often deal with 3D assets. So we thought this would be a good topic for us to add in as well, on how we can go about preparing these 3D assets such that it can be used for your application. Okay, yeah, so for the theory topics I've mentioned, we'll be going through what are the hardware, software, as well as working principles for augmented reality. So what are the tracking modes that's available? What is the technology that is actually behind powering AR? How does things actually stay in place? We will be touching on all those topics. The hardware that is available in the market. So there are so many hardware that is available. So how do you go about choosing which device is best suited for your application? The software that's available, there's also quite a bit of tools that's available. So we will be introducing them to you. what are the development tools, what are the commercial tools, and what they are used for. And of course, we'll also be touching on what are the AR applications, as well as in different industries, how are they actually using AR in. So you can get some inspiration if you're thinking of in which area can you apply AR in. As for ARTC, we have done applications, AR applications in these few areas, mainly guided operation. How do you guide an operator through a task, be it on a HoloLens wearable device or on your mobile tablets? Training and simulation, remote assistance, digital twin, as well as space planning. So as part of the course, we will be showing you some of the demonstrations that we have, and you can try on the devices for yourself. Yeah, so now that you know what are the hardware that's available, software that's available, as well as the types of applications you can go about developing, the next question is, how do you go about choosing it? What's the next step forward? So what we'll be covering is also an evaluation checklist that you can consider when you are deciding which approach is better for you, be it choosing a hardware or choosing a software that you would like to move forward. Yeah, so those are the theory sections of the course, and next moving on to the hands-on sessions. Like I've mentioned, we will have some try-on sessions with the devices that we have in ARTC. Sometimes it's good to try it on yourself so that you know what an operator or the end users will be experiencing when they use this device, and you can better evaluate whether the device is suitable for the application or not. Next, we will be familiarizing with Unity, which is a development platform that we will be going through in this course. And finally, you will be also developing your own AR application on Android. So why Unity? So Unity is actually a development platform that is most commonly used for AR development at this moment. And for Unity, it also has this plugin known as AR Foundation. What AR Foundation is basically a plugin that Unity has created such that it supports AR Core, which is for Android, AR Kit, which is for iOS, Magic Leap, as well as HoloLens, which are some of the wearable devices that is available in the market. So what this means is, for an application that you have created on Unity, you can easily port them from Android to iOS, as well as for HoloLens. You don't have to recreate the project every time you want to change a platform. With minimal change, you can easily port them to the different OS. Yeah, and of course, the beauty of immersive technology is the ability to overlay virtual content in your environment. And some of the questions that we often get is also, how do we go about preparing this 3D model? How do we even get the 3D model? So as part of the course, we will be sharing with you some of the criteria for the 3D models such that they can be used in your AR or VR applications. Where are the resources? Where are some of the resources that you can go to in order to get the 3D models before you actually get someone to come and create them from scratch. So we'll be sharing some resources with you, and also the tools that you can use to optimize the 3D models that you already have. Yeah. So some of the benefits of this course, because this course content is specially tailored for developing an AR application for industrial usage based on our experience that we have had for the past few years. So if, let's say, you are working on the industrial area and you're interested in adopting AR, this course will be very beneficial for you. Next, you'll be also understanding the different technologies that's available, so you know what can you pick from and which one is best suited for your application. Of course, you'll be equipped with the knowledge to analyze as well as down select best options for your application. Hands-on session for you to understand the development process, as well as we can have an open discussion on potential use cases that you might have on hand and you hope to implement AR on. we can also, of course, discuss this during the course. So who should sign up for this course? I would say individuals or even companies who's interested in adopting immersive technology or even mixed reality devices, some that you have on hand, but yeah, you would like to develop some customized application for those. Yeah, so these people, welcome to join this course, as well as digital transformation officers, especially for those who are doing digitalizing tasks, translating paperwork into digital formats. So this is also where AR can actually come in handy, or it's something that you can take into consideration of adding since you are in the process of digitalizing. Next, process owners or even domain experts who are interested to digitalize your knowledge transfer format, and also 3D artists or even UI UX designers who's interested in immersive technology. Yeah, so but of course, anyone who's interested in AR, VR can join us in this course. And with that, I've come to the end of my sharing. I would like to pass my time back to Tom.
Right, thank you so much, Mr. Bell. So my portion is very quick. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the course dates and how much this course will cost you. So the upcoming run for this particular program, we're actually starting on the 23rd of May. That's about a month's time. The venue will be ARTC, which is a Clean Tech Park. So where's Clean Tech Park? Clean Tech Park is actually near NTU on the west side of Singapore. And this is a full day's program. So we expect to be there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 3 full days of training. So interestingly, this course is actually supported by Skills Future Singapore. So for non-Singaporeans, you expect to pay about $2,000 plus $2,054. But if you're Singaporean and you're above age of 40, you only pay 232.32 cents inclusive of GST. If you're below 40, you expect to pay about 616.32. And of course, Skills Futures credits are applicable. So if you have Skills Futures credits that you've not utilized, you can use the credits to offset this course fee. And for those above 40 or so, you will actually be paying nothing, paying zero. So if you're interested in registering for this course, you can actually go to our website, click on the register link, or you can scan the QR code on my screen now for registrations to join us. Do take note that the maximum class size for this program is about, I think, 15, not wrong, 14, 15 people, because you want to limit the number of people to ensure that everyone gets the best practical experience, right? Thank you so much. Right, so right now, I would actually like to move the session to the Q&A portion. Is there any questions you have for Christabel on AR that you feel that she can answer as subject matter expert, about the program, about AR or mixed reality? Christabel will assist you with that. At the same time, I would actually like to open this time for poll. I would like to find out everyone's interest in this particular program, whether you would like to sign up for this program. So if you could, please take a minute to actually help me click on the respond to the poll, please. Right. So the poll has been initiated. To ask questions, you can actually type in the Q&A box, in the chat box, or use the raise hand function, and we'll unmute you, and you can go ahead and ask the questions to Christabel. So any questions from the floor, please? Anyone that has any burning questions, feel free to ask. So if anyone has any questions about the course content or AR in general, or any examples that you'd like to ask, whether it's better for safety, for training. Yeah, I mean, we have examples of such scenarios that's been used for. If you have any specific questions you have for your industry, whether for aerospace, marine, or constructions that you want to ask whether AR be helpful, go ahead. You can ask Isabel here, so we can help you with that. So anyway, I have a question to ask actually, Christabel. I'd like to just check with you. As we know, Apple has been buying AR companies, and there's rumors of AR Apple glasses coming up that would likely incorporate AR. What do you think the impact will be in the market should, I mean, when it does come, maybe this year or next?
Yeah, so Apple has been we have been speculating that they will be releasing their wearable device very soon, probably next year. As Apple being Apple, once they release something, a lot of people will actually start to adopt them. And one of the main tool that we have for AR, which is ARKit, is actually developed by Apple. So their iPhones and their tablets actually all supports augmented reality right now. So I think this course will be a very good stepping stone for you to enter, to have a better understanding of augmented reality, as well as what is the options that's available for you out there. So you can kickstart your development journey for your own company or adopting AR in your own company. Yeah.
So it's a good idea to start learning about AR right now before Apple launches their technology.
Then you'll be ready by then.
Yeah, then by then you realize that, hey, I'm not ready about AR. What is this all about? I start playing catch up. Why not go learn about AR right now, especially when you're funding, learn how you can incorporate in the organization and be a step ahead of the trend. Because we know that they bought companies. They're not going to say that, hey, we're not interested in AR. No, it's just fun for phones. No, it's going to be a big thing. And it's very soon. We're talking about this year, next year, who knows? Yeah, it's quite exciting. Right, guys, any questions you'd like to pose? You want to ask Christabel? We're happy to answer, whether it's about the program, how you can help your organization. Oh, Christabel, do you have any examples of successful AR implementations in the industry? Any success stories you would like to share?
We have developed quite a few applications for industrial partners. One of it is actually for the hospitals, for the residents, doctors to train on surgical procedures. So how the doctors trained previously was actually they watch the instructor perform one operation, then they perform one themselves, and then they teach someone. So they watch one, learn one, do one, and teach one. So that was their teaching methodology previously. So what we have created was an AR application where they can go through the simulation of how to perform the surgery. It's an interactive one. So if they make any mistakes, the virtual patient would actually die, I would say. Yeah, so kind of like a flight simulator. So if pilots can train on a flight simulator before flying an actual plane, so why not for the doctors and residents? So this is an example of how AR can come in for training purposes. Yeah. And because it's on AR and it's on tablet, so they can bring it anywhere they want. Previously, they do have some simulations that they can practice on, but it's usually set up in a big room, and you have to book your sessions and secure your slots before you can practice on. So with the application, they can do it anytime, anywhere, as long as they are free and available.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. It's interesting. So for the last technology, did it require a QR code to activate the AR? No. So you can virtually just need a clean paper.
Yeah. So for that, actually they just need a flat surface, so that once the tablet detects that there's a flat surface, you can position the virtual patient in your environment, and you can go about doing the operation from there.
Oh, that's very interesting. So what we'll do is we'll leave this Q&A session open for another 2 to 3 minutes. If any questions, anyone, please feel free to ask. Do join in the Q&A session.
Also, for those who are interested for the course, you can actually drop us an email on what your potential use case might be, so that we can also tailor the course content such that the practical sessions we can actually use your example as a use case, so that you can learn more from the session itself. So do feel free to contact us on some of the more interesting ideas that you have, or ideas that you have in mind that you would like to learn more. Do let us know so we can further tailor this course to your needs.
Actually, on the same notes, if you're thinking about doing AR or VR for a company and you don't know where to start, instead of hiring a consultant to come in to spend money and look at your place, join us for the course. Then you can speak to Christabel or any of the trainers during the training to get the information you need to bring it back, and you enjoy the subsidy. So it's win-win for all. And yep. So Christabel, we actually have a question from an anonymous question asking about AR or VR. Which do you feel is better for practical training?
I think it will depend on what kind of training you are going for. For VR devices, usually the person will need to have you will need to have a VR headset, and multiple people will have to share the same headset. For AR, depending on whether you are going with wearable devices or you can also deploy it on your mobile phones. So for mobile phone, you can have a wider audience. It's easier for you to scale because you can get your staff to install the application and they can practice it at their own time, own target. But of course, it really depends on the use case itself, whether you would like them to train in a virtual environment, or do you want them to actually train on the physical environment with additional information overlaid in the surroundings, so they follow those instructions and they execute the task. Yeah.
I think part 2 of this question is asking about whether the slide deck will be shared. Well, slide about training. If you're going for training, yes, it will be shared. If you want the slides for this particular webinar, reach out to us. We can show you a copy. Correct, Isabel? No problem, right?
Yeah.
We have a question for Mr. Vikram asking about his is a warehouse operations. He's asking how can AR VR be used for hands-free packing? Picking.
Yeah, there are some AR applications that is catered for picking operations. So it will sync up with the backend system so that the user will know what other items they have to pick, and they'll tell you like, okay, so right now you have to pick this item, how many of it. So once you have picked them, the devices usually have a camera that is embedded on them, so you can actually scan the QR code, if let's say the item has a QR code, to make sure that you have picked the right item, and you can kind of like verify that you have picked it. Yeah, so there are commercial solutions that's available. Of course, if the commercial solutions are not meeting your requirement, then that is where we can also come in and help you develop a solution that is customized to your needs. Yeah, so in this course, we'll also be sharing some of the commercial tools that we have tested before. What are their use cases, or where they excel in, so that when you are deciding which platform to use, you have a better idea on what to pick from there. And also the evaluation checklist, so you can help to kind of eliminate all the different options that's available, and finally point down to a final solution that you all can go on testing.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, we have 2 more questions. We have an anonymous question asking if they will be able to create their own VR content, or do they still need to engage consultants to actually deploy VR at the workplace?
So for this course, it will be touching on the very basics of developing the content. But of course, if you want to develop very beautified content, very nicely designed, you'll still need 3D artists or even UI UX designers who's specialized in this area. But of course, if the looks is not as important for you, you just want to test out the technology, I would say you should be able to create your own simple application first. And then from there, you'll also be equipped with the knowledge to, if let's say you want to engage a vendor, you would know what are the things you can discuss with them, what are the things that's achievable, or the options that you have, and you can get them to do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, I feel that if you will take up training for this program, when you do engage consultants, you know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Understand the language. So, when the consultant is suggesting something that may not be suitable, you will not be, led astray. You actually have some kind of basic understanding and be able to guide the project better and probably better manage the project. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One more question. I think about haptic feedback. Whether you can implement into AR/VR to replicate the real feel of operation assembly. How is the maturity of haptic feedback technology?
Yeah, so there are quite a number of haptic devices that's coming up in the market, but I would say their price point is still on the pretty high stage right now. So we have not dived very deeply into the haptic devices as of now, because it's just one glove, and for a company to buy that glove, the last I checked, it cost about 20 over K for just one glove. So cost wise, we feel that the gap is still quite big. But of course, if let's say you're talking about VR, the controllers, they do give a slight feedback to you. The controllers do vibrate when you execute certain tasks. So that is the form of feedback that we have at this moment. But yeah, we are keeping a lookout on the haptic devices that's available. Once we find one that we think it's suitable for our industry members, we will test them out, and we'll let you guys know again. If you are interested, you can let me know who you are.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Okay. Actually, we still have time. This webinar is supposed to go until 3:30. So if any more questions, anyone, please feel free to go in and ask. I think this is a good session to actually get in touch with experts on this. Oh, new question. This is on software. What are the software covered in your program? I believe you're talking both about the development phase and the usage part.
Yeah, so for the hands-on session, we will be touching on Unity. We'll give you an introduction to Unity, how do you go about using it, as well as how to set up Unity for an AR application. Unity can also be used to develop VR applications. It's just a slight setting that you will have to change. We will also be going through how to set up Unity for Android, iOS, as well as wearable devices if you are interested in those areas. But for the actual deployment of the application that we will be doing in this course, we will be focusing on Android, because for other platforms, we will need to have the tools available, which we might foresee that there will be some difficulty over there. So we will be focusing on Android for the course itself. Software will be Unity. Then based on the theory-wise, we will be going through some of the softwares that we have used before, what their advantages are and disadvantages are, and then so that you are aware of all those software or all those options that's available in the market. But hands-on will be mainly on Unity.
Great, thank you so much. How about for Windows applications? Will this still apply?
Yeah, so HoloLens is a Windows device, so Unity can also be deployed. You can also deploy for Windows on Unity. We will go through the setup of how you can set your project up for Windows development. So if let's say you do have a HoloLens and you would like to know more about deploying for HoloLens, do let us know so that we can prepare for that. Otherwise, we will be focusing mainly on Android development.
Thank you so much. Right. So thank you everyone for your questions. Thank you, Christabel, for sharing. Thank you all once again. So with this, since there's no further questions, I hope everyone has found today's session useful. Again, if you're interested to register for this program, you can either do it through our website or reaching out to us. We'll help you with the registration process. And I hope to see you again at our next webinar. So do sign up if you're interested. Again, seats are limited. We can only cater to so many people at one time. We only got so many VR headsets, AR headsets. So sign up soon. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you at the training. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.